Hey everybody, we're going live for Tuesday Talks now. Tuesday Talks is all about getting to know an individual, what makes them tick, what do they care about, and how their career reflects that. So today's guest is called Jonathan. Jonathan is a confidence coach who specializes in helping people overcome their anxieties. So let's bring Jonathan on. I see you there, Jonathan. I have sent the invite. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Jonathan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much for taking the time out as well for joining. I've done a short introduction for you already, but you're the best person to expound onto that and let the audience know who you are, what do you do, and the biggest question that everybody on the Tuesday Talks have is, why do you do it, Jonathan, as well? So I know there's a lot of questions, but in your own time, take it away.
No, that's great. So my name's Jonathan. I'm a confidence coach. I've been coaching for almost 12 years now. And I suppose there's three reasons why I do it. Number one, because I've struggled with anxiety all my life. I had a lot of confidence issues. Number two, because it's a passion of mine. It's something that I kind of accidentally fell into. And number three, I'm really good at it. I'm really good at helping people. And it's just something that I've continued to do. And yeah, that's why I do it.
Nice, nice. I really like that. And so you've been doing that for a while, and we had a little chat earlier before coming on as well. So if you want to take us through the journey of you know where did they all began for you, and how did you came across the when you started? Have we lost? It looks like we've lost Jonathan because he is just frozen on my screen. Anybody watching us live now, let me know if you are able to see Jonathan there because Jonathan is appearing frozen on my screen. He got disconnected. Okay. Uh, let's have a look where Jonathan is. Let's see if we can invite him back again. Okay, let's invite him back again. So we lost Jonathan. Hi.
We got disconnected there. Don't know what's happened. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's no worries. That's okay. So, welcome back. Welcome back. And so we, what I did was I was asking a question in terms of, you know, take us through in terms of where did all this started? How did you come across your passion, and what was it that got you into it?
Well, it's a long story. I try and shorten it down. So I think it really started with having anxiety growing up. Getting bullied at school, being socially anxious, being shy. Kind of leaving school, didn't get a great education, didn't really enjoy the school system. I did a lot of jobs that I appreciated, but I never really enjoyed them. And I just got depressed a lot, had a lot of anxiety, and then started to get a little bit suicidal in my 20s. And I started to do what most people do, looking for answers, trying to find inspiration. I always had a sort of contradicting feeling of not feeling good enough growing up and having issues. But another part of me felt I can do this. I am good enough. I am confident. I can achieve things. And I think I think that anger from being bullied and being made to feel not good enough and put down and depressed, I just got so sick and tired of being depressed and anxious. I just thought, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So, I prayed, I found Les Brown. Les Brown changed my life. If I didn't find Les Brown in my early 20s, I don't know where my life would have gone. And I
Wow.
just started following what he said. And the things he said were simple, but basically I had to go out and face all my fears. And I was putting my fears off for such a long time because I had so much self-doubt. I doubted myself. There was more doubt and insecurity than there was confidence. But once I started to do things, Zishan, I actually realized I'm actually a really brave person. I'm not perfect, but I am confident. A lot of people do like me, even though I'd have a lot of intrusive thoughts. I think people don't like me. I'm
Hmm.
paranoid. I had a lot of paranoia. They're judging me. I'm going to fail. I always had this fear that I won't be able to handle failure, the emotions, and it all come back from being bullied growing up and being in situations where I couldn't handle it. So I had to learn how to handle my emotions. I had to learn how to handle fear. And to make it simple for people, I had to be courageous. I had to really follow my heart and go out and keep going. And that's what I did. And it didn't happen overnight. I kind of
Of
failed at
course.
everything that I did, but I always got better. And I think that gave me confidence. And for me, what choice did I have? It was either stay suicidal, have panic attacks every day, feel bad about being suicidal, not want to take my own life, all these conflicting fears and anxieties, and just being sick and tired of being like that. I might as well just go out and face everything. What's the worst that's going to happen? And when I did that, my life changed. I felt mentally better, and a lot of my confidence has come from going out and facing fear. That's how I became
Mm.
confident, and that's what led me to helping other people. So I took a very practical approach to conquering my fears, understanding life more. I learned a lot through the practicalities of going out, talks, meeting people, going to the gym, training. It's all obvious stuff. But I think when you're scared, when people are frightened, they know what they need to do, but fear gets in the way, the anxieties So
Mm.
that's kind of really giving you the
I,
where I come from, why I do what I do.
I really love this, and you just reminded me of a conversation that I was having with someone a few days ago as well. In terms of what I mean by when I say scared, I'm scared. Because I grew up being a shy kid anyway, and I can relate a little bit being on the bully side, but because I was quiet and so I kept to myself. And now if you're just looking at me now talking like this, it's like, oh, you sure you were a shy kid? But I was also on the other side very extroverted person as well. So flamboyant, if I wanted to show off, I'll be do extravagant stuff. So when I found my passion in music and everything, I wanted to do my get on stage and play the guitar and everything. But every time I still have stage fright, but I still get on it. But what I heard you there say, and I think I was doing that already, is I took on that fear. I was like, if I felt I'm scared or I have a fear of it, I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm more doing it. I'm doing it now more. I'm just gonna go and do it. Um, so for me, it was like, okay, I acknowledge the emotion that's just appeared. Okay, thank you very much. Now you've actually you actually confirmed that I actually should do this more now because this is what I want to do. And then you're asking me basically, are you sure? I'm like, yep, I'm sure. Let's get on with it. And that's how I overcame my issues of being on stage. I still get it every time I get on on the stage. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be scared, but I'm like, I use that as a superpower. So turn it into a giant ball of power, and then just go, okay, explode inside me, and that is giving me the strength to now do what I need to do. And yeah, I don't, the thoughts come along. You're thinking, oh yeah, what if people don't like this? What if I forget this line? What if I mess up here? What if I trip? What if I fall down? What if I drop my glass of water? All these things go in your mind, and you're like, none of this will happen if you just deliver what you need to do, right?
Yeah, you did exactly, what I experienced and what I teach, and I love what you did. It's that, you're honest. That takes courage to say that I'm scared to speak, but you go and do it. And that's the difference between successful people and people who choose not to be successful or choose to don't go out and live their dreams. I get it, and I'm not judging them because I've been there. They're scared to admit they're afraid because they're frightened that people would judge them. But
Mm.
everybody has fear, everybody feels frightened, but not everybody's got the courage to go and face it. Everybody can face it, and what you did, as far as I'm concerned, is success, where it's being a really brave, honest person. You're scared to do something, but you keep showing up, and of course, the more you do it, the better you get. The better you get, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the less fearful that you become. But if you are scared and you are terrified and you do mess up, it's fine. At least you tried, and you can always try again. Oh, sorry. And there you go. My phone drops. Try again. But yeah, as long as you don't give up, even if people do judge you, there's always a lot of good people out there
Mm.
that won't judge you. And I think for all of us, you've got to get to a point where you care. You've got a better opinion of yourself. You care more about what you think about you. if you care too much about what people think, then you never have real self-esteem or confidence, because you don't know how to care for you. So we all care a little bit what people think. But I've got a new saying: you should care about people, but you shouldn't care about their thoughts. And, like what you're doing is brilliant. I can't really ask for any more than that, because you're turning up and doing it. And that's the problem with a lot of our culture today. And before that, people talk too much. They don't take the action. And I understand, because they're scared. And what keeps them stuck is not admitting it. I always say to people, look, if you're afraid of something that's bothering you, it shows good character. Be honest and say, yeah, I'm too scared to start my business right now. That's a great start. But if you say things like, I'm not scared and I don't like my job and there's all these excuses, you're sabotaging yourself. You're keeping yourself in a prison, and the lack of honesty really affects your self-esteem. And I honestly believe long term, all these lies that people tell themselves, and that I used to, affects your mental health. It affects how you feel about yourself. So the honesty is really powerful. The more honest you are, if you're not honest, the fear just bullies you. Those thoughts, they blackmail you. They say things about you. And usually most people are nice people. Most people are not as judgmental as our own thoughts if we don't get control of them. So a lot of this is about honesty, courage, and understanding the mind, and understanding that, because I used to care so much about what people thought, and sometimes I do a little bit, but when I really get down to it, we're all the same. We're all human. We just want to be happy. We just want to feel comfortable. So that always makes me feel a lot less caring. And I think another thing, what people do a lot, we're all guilty of it. A lot of times we're selfish. We think about ourselves too much. We're constantly thinking about, but if you think about, how can I be a better person? How can I be kinder? How can I help other people? It's very simple. If you just be nice to people, be kind, you stop thinking so much about you and what you can get. And that makes you feel better anyway. So all these things are very, very simple, but they take a lot of practice and hard work and courage, blood and guts, suffering, to develop as a person and learn these things, and actually, not just say it or read it, but become it, live it in your life.
I love that you mentioned, to become it and you live your life with it. I know there's a famous saying that goes, right, like, fake it till you make it. I always say, just be it till you become it.
Yeah.
Right? Because whatever you're trying to be, just be it now, and you will become it, right? So consistency, I would add on to that, is key. So if you are saying that, okay, I want to do these things, I want to make a change is just not going to happen by just talking about it. So you would need to take some action, and then you need to take consistent action. So, I know, looking at your Instagram as well, you're heavily into your fitness and everything. That requires consistency as well. You can't just like one day turn up on in a month or once in a week, and then not turn up within 2-3 weeks and then turn up again. So consistency is required. Okay, you pick a few days that this is what day, or if it's once a week, there's nothing wrong with that. But then same, once a week, every week is the consistency. So your body is like, okay, yeah, I need to be doing this. So take us through your journey in terms of, okay, so then I know you went through some life-changing events as well, which is now you're coming back from. And would you like to share what that is?
Yeah, I'm open book. I'm excited. So yeah, a lot of people know me. I was very successful as a dating and relationship coach. I started in about 2012. I had a really good run for about 3-4 years, honeymoon period. I got a girlfriend, moved out of my parents, set my own business up, really got over a lot of my social fears, done public speaking. I really was living the dream. I know that's cliche. I loved my life. I became a much better person. But after that, I started to suffer with severe mental health problems. I didn't know I was getting ill. Anyway, long story short, it got really bad. I had a mental health breakdown in 2017. I had to go into hospital for 6 weeks. I had to go on medication. I was literally rock bottom, and I thought my life was over. I was really ill. I'm lucky I've got a good family and good support system, and having faith really helped me. But, honestly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm happier. I'm a better person. I think I appreciate things more that I didn't used to appreciate before the mental health breakdown. And a lot of good things have come from that. And it changed everything. It changed my business. It changed me. It changed my relationship. I guess some of the things to shorten it, it made me appreciate people more, made me care about people more. Not that I didn't care about people before. It made me have more gratitude. It made me grow up, because I thought success was just initially about, famous, make some money,
Hmm.
help people, because I always had a heart to help people. But I didn't realize that, no, there's a lot more things in life. Just because you're successful doesn't mean you're happy. Doesn't mean you're a good person just because you're successful. It's a good achievement. Your relationship with your family, the things that most of us take for granted, but every now and then we realize, loving your family, caring about people, enjoying life, appreciating life. So I went through a lot of that. I guess you could say I got humbled, and it made me understand mental health more. And if I'm being honest, I know it might not make sense. I think I know I'm more confident now after the breakdown than what I was before. Maybe people don't see that in me, but I feel
Mm.
it. I feel more at ease with who I am. And when I was successful and confident back then, I was confident, but I didn't feel at peace in myself inside. I felt a bit like, yeah, I guess I felt like a bit of a fraud. I guess I did have that feeling that I don't really deserve it. And although I know I'm true and I help people, something was missing. And having the mental health breakdown and coming back from that breakdown has made me understand a little bit more about why I felt unhappy and empty after becoming successful and being on such a high. I was on a high for so many years. I felt like, wow, life is always going to be
Yeah.
like that. And I realized that life isn't always like that. Life gets tough for all of us, but how we deal with it plays a part in what we can make from it. So I learned how to be happy on very little things, but not to rationalize that, but to also go out. And if people want to make a lot of money, great. I help people to do that. But you can be a good person. You can be
Mm.
fit. You can help people. I'm not saying people shouldn't go out and make money and be successful and be like business. I love all that stuff. But I think it's important not to lose touch with being a good person, caring about people, following your values, and just doing the best that you can. Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. But I don't believe that's an excuse to not be a good person and go out and really try and live the best life you can and help people along the way if you can. And you don't need to be a coach to do that. You don't have to be a teacher. You just need to be who you are. And I honestly believe everyone's got a gift. A lot of people don't believe it. They might think it's cheesy. Everyone's got a gift. Every man and a woman's got a gift,
Mm.
something that they're good at. But to show that gift, they got to do what you've done and what I've done. You've got to face your fear. And I know it's cliche. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. My whole journey, lots of it has been amazing. But if I'm being honest, my happiest times are when I'm very uncomfortable. I'm really in the heat of the battle, in the arena.
Mm.
And that's when you think, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Didn't know I could be that confident. Didn't know I could help a client. I didn't know I could make someone have confidence. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you never really tried. So, that's kind of what I'm passionate about, and that's what I learn. And again, I learned from Tyson Fury, other people. Most of the times we can come back. It's not easy. There's support out there. I didn't do it on my own. I had good people. If you really want to come back from a breakdown, you can do it. You can do it with faith. I respect everybody's faith. If faith doesn't work for you, if you really want to come back, you can do it. And I wanted to come back. I didn't want to be unwell for the rest of my life, on benefits, unemployed, sitting around eating. It was fun for a while, just sitting around, but I didn't want that. I wanted to come back, and I'm happy to be here today and to share my story
Mm.
and put the videos out, motivate, inspire people. And like you, I love it. It's real. I got a passion for helping people to improve and change and make progress. I love it. It's my passion.
And that's so exciting to hear as well, like because the motivation and the passion which is there, which is driving you to that comeback and change and be more confident, and it shows, even though we have never actually met in person, and we are doing this first time, I can see the confidence there, and I can see the battle that you've gone through with what you're sharing there, and it's an amazing journey you're sharing with everybody. So definitely, people who are listening to this now live on Instagram or later on as a podcast as well, there's lots to take away, and something that resonates with me a lot more now is like, um, everybody is able to come back if they really want to. That's what I am taking away from what you said so far. That it's just, do you really want to come out, or you want to stay? Why would you want to stay when you can have some more and even better things. And so, question that came to my mind was, okay, in terms of, your routines, or some people like to call it rituals, and whatever name you've given to it, have you like created something that you do every morning? Like, is that something regularly? What works for you? Obviously, people listening may adapt that or not, but I always recommend to try it out, because not everybody is the same, but something fits, something doesn't. So you have to try it out and see what works best for you. So what was that? What those things for you?
Yeah, it's good that you asked it. Yeah, I never used to have a routine. I've got a routine every day, and I love it. And every day I wake up, because most days I do wake up. I live with an anxiety disorder, so I wake up with anxiety. I wake up with negative thoughts. Not every day, but at this current period I'm going through at the moment, I am. So when I wake up, the first thing I do is I say a prayer, a short prayer. Keep it simple. Thank you, God. Thank you for gratitude. Thanks for today. Please give me the strength to get through this. I want to help more people, and I don't want to be in this place. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be unhappy. Give me that bit of strength. Then I'll listen to some music. I love 80s music, Rocky. I like all the cheesy stuff, or motivation. Nice. And then usually I've got a client. The first thing I do is, it takes me about half an hour. I get out of bed. I make my bed, clean the apartment. I get my shorts on. I go straight for a run. I do my run. I love running. I love training, and it makes me grateful. When I finish the run, I'm clear. I can deal with business. I can deal with people. My anxieties reduce, or they go away. I go back home. I take a shower. I go and coach a client. So, my life is quite boring, but I enjoy it. It's very simple, but I get a lot out of it. Then today I went and see my dad. I had a coffee with my dad. So I make it very simple. And I learned over the years that a lot of our anxieties are because our mind is anxious. We have a lot of thoughts, and we're trying to defeat something that's so intelligent. We can't defeat the mind with more intelligence. We have to get past it with simplicity, gratitude. So running and training, coaching, simple things make me happy. And that gets me calm. And I do my boxing stuff as well. And as I'm training, I'm documenting my journey to teach people, to help them. I'm helping my clients. So the key for me is staying busy, staying practical. When I've done all that, in the evening, I can come home, relax, sit down, watch a podcast, watch some boxing, make some dinner, make some healthy food. So yeah, I guess I've got a very good routine. It's based around running, mental health, gratitude, fitness, socializing. I'd say anyone listening, try it. I'm confident it will work for them. It will help you in every area. It will help your mind. It will give you confidence with money, with people. It's so amazing how something so simple can have such a positive effect on your life, and it can lead to so many other things. And you can build on that. If I get a day where I think, oh, I need to do something, it's a bit boring. I'll go cinema. I'll go I've got some close friends. I'll meet with a friend. We'll have a 5-hour deep conversation about life, about business, about love, about the things we're talking about, and that makes you feel good. So that's my routine.
That's quite interesting routine as well. And what the thing I actually picked up was making your bed, because how we know the importance of making your bed, right? It comes on every time. But yeah, so you and I loved it that you mentioned it. Yep, yeah, I make my bed, and then like put a shorts on and go for a walk, or run. Sorry, go for a run. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah. So it's the making bed part as well is very important, because that is also a task that you've now said, okay, yeah, I'll deal with this. I'll do it. I'm not just leaving it. You're not just leaving it, because if you just left that is your first task of the day, pretty much. If you didn't do that task properly, the rest of the tasks throughout the day would be also incomplete.
Exactly. You totally understand it. That's it. That's the teaching. You said it. I mean, look, if you can't make your bed, how can you be a good husband? How can you teach people? How can you set an example? How can you be good for yourself? And these things come from things my mum and dad taught me growing up, and my nan, where I used to be lazy, and that was because I would say I can't do it, or I'm so anxious, I can't deal with making the bed. So making the bed, as you said, is preparation. You're telling your mind that you're getting ready. It's preparation. And all successful people, when you really get down to it, which is great, a lot of them say the same thing, which I love. And they understand the principles of good mindset, good mental health, good self-esteem. And, like you said, if you can't make the bed, how will you go and do a public talk? you're telling yourself that I don't believe in myself. And it's a self-respect thing as well. It's if I was
Exactly.
going to someone's house, I'm not going to throw trash on the floor. If they give me some food, I'm going to use manners. I'm going to finish it. So it's like a respect thing. It's all those things you said and more. So yeah,
It,
making the bed's
it, it,
important.
Exactly, exactly. So, making the bed, keeping your place tidy and everything is just part of all that, right? As you mentioned, if you're going to go to someone else's house and you're going to show some manners, why not show the manners to yourself as well in your place, right? So
Exactly.
that's where it starts. I love this. So the question now is coming to my mind is also that how do you now, close your day? So now you had a productive, wonderful day, with all the activities that you do. Now, how do you now close that day so that the productivity is still there and you're ready for tomorrow or the next day?
Yeah, no, great question. So what I do is I always kind of make the end of the day a treat. It's a pattern I've had since I was a kid, and I think it's a good pattern. So the end of the day, it's usually I'll cook myself a nice healthy meal. I'll watch something, and usually I'll edit some YouTube videos. So I would have shot some YouTube videos in the day, and in the night time and evening time, because I'm a bit of a night hawk. I like being up at night. I can really process my thoughts better, and I can get some creative stuff done. Or if I feel like I've done enough business stuff, I'll just sit down and watch a podcast show like most people. So I really do. Yeah, I prefer the night time to the morning. I think the morning is the hardest time for me. That is the mental and emotional battle. So the night time is like where I settle down and just do fun, creative things, and that's
Mm.
part of my routine as well.
I
Yeah.
I love that. So you obviously you tune into your what I like to call it the genius zone that time. So by nighttime is the genius zone for you. So you're in that zone. Creativeness is happening, editing, all that stuff. If that is to learn and grow with something, and that is happening, so it's that zone time for you. So that's great. And then you're pretty much ready for the next day because you've reset yourself for the next day. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, so you've been doing this for quite a lot of time and everything. So the people who are listening to us, and let's say they are a little bit challenged in terms of they. I wouldn't like to use the word introvert and extrovert because confidence has nothing to do with those things. So let's say they have lack of confidence in terms of let's say going to the shop, for example, and just asking someone, where is this? They rather spend 1 hour finding the stuff, or you can just ask the help person there that, okay, can you tell me where that is? So what do you recommend? Like, I know there's no quick fix, but something that they can start with and that can get them going.
Yeah, I think they've got to really want to do it because I think there's so much advice out there, and it's easy to say things. I think that they really have to have what I call it the 1 year mindset. I've got a 1 year program, and basically I learnt this from going through stuff. A lot of shy people initially they don't want to commit long term
Mm,
because it's overwhelming. It frightens them. But me, I figured out when I've coached people, if you give yourself 6 months or a year, you're giving yourself permission to make mistakes. There's less self-judgment. So, but I think people need a reason. I know this. So today, it's very easy for me to go into this place and be confident because I know that we're going to do this interview. And the reason is I was excited to speak to you, come on the show. I want to help people. So, it's having people need a bigger reason. Because if you just say to someone, well, you're shy, go out and say hello to people. Even though that's true, that's so obvious. They'll be like, yeah, I know that, but I can't do it. So people need it. They need a meaning. They need a bigger goal.
mm,
Because if you don't have a bigger goal, the anxiety usually will get the better of people. And that's why we need coaches, you need support. And, so they need a reason, they need a goal. I always say to a client or anyone that wants my help, the first question I always ask is, what's your passion? What's your goal? And if you say, I don't know, then we have to figure out what that is. And that's what kept me shy for so long and in my comfort zone, because I didn't really know what my goal was in life. I just knew that I hated being anxious and nervous and insecure and uncomfortable around people. So when you've got a goal and a vision, you focus more on that, and that reduces the anxiety. So yeah, of course you've got to go to events, practice saying hello to people, but you need passion. You need a reason.
mm.
People won't suffer if there's not a big reward, because the mind's going to say, oh, I don't want to go into a shop because it's too terrifying. What if I get awkward? Well, when you've got a goal, if you get awkward, you're going to go again. We're going to keep going, because you're more passionate to succeed than you are afraid to fail. And I think that's what a shy person has to really get through to their brain. And I know it may be cheesy. People say mindset, and mindset's important, but I'm a big believer in heart set. When you're so determined, when you've got the heart to do it. So I think they need to know the reason. I would say to a shy person, why do you want to stop being shy? What's the reason? Is it to get a relationship? Is it to get a job? Is it to do public speaking? Because if you can't tell me a reason, the likelihood is you're not going to stick at it. And if you do go out and say hello, if you don't have a coach or support system, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you to a point where it's going to make you feel so bad about yourself, you're probably going to give up. And I don't want to say that, but I have to speak my mind and help people.
Yeah.
So to not give up, you need passion, and that's why I got motivated by people like Bruce Lee, Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, boxers, because these were people that you've got to be obsessed. I'm sorry. You've got to be so passionate that if you go out and you say hello and you get nervous and you feel bad, the drive in you has got to say, I can't accept that. I've got to go out and try again. So mindset and heart set is important. And you are right. I can give people some concrete exercises. A good one is to focus on the person when you're nervous. Focus on asking them questions. How was your day? And if you feel like you're going to run out of something to say, just know in your own heart that you've got to sort of program yourself to be genuine. If you're genuine and you're kind, people don't really judge you too harshly if you're nervous and you're anxious. They just really feel that you're being good to them. So focus on asking some questions if you're that shy. How's your day been today? Or was it a hard day? Was it a stressful day? Ask questions, and then you'll get into the conversation and you'll kind of forget about the nerves. So that's kind of all the advice I could give for now.
I really love that, the whole before everything as well, in terms of how the heart set and mindset together as well, and connecting yourself to a passion or a purpose, or what's really important to you. Let's say that you don't have a passion or a purpose, but what's important to you,
exactly,
right? Why
exactly,
why do you want
exactly,
to be
exactly,
not shy? Why do you want to, become confident? Why, like, why do you want to be this and that? Is it something is so that you're working towards that? And I love that. Because not everybody thinks that way, right? Nobody's thinking like, okay, I need to do this. Oh, okay. But then there's the why is not strong enough. And therefore you're always, then you do it one time and then you give up and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do it next time. There you go. We'll just leave it. Oh yeah, first hurdle. Oh, it didn't work out. Okay, let's just leave it. And I love that you're helping them to actually hone on to their why and purpose and passion. If they don't know it, let's work out what that is, and we'll use that as a catalyst to, move you forward with it. And I really love that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
And so, and one thing I'm thinking here is now, like, okay, so now if somebody who now knows, okay, this is the reason I want to do it. Let's say I want to do public speaking, because that's the biggest challenge for everybody, right? Even though you're a confident person, you're good at life, you're successful and everything, stage fright gets everybody, right? You're public speaking, and how can they then overcome? Obviously, it's I'm sure you again don't have a one fix for that, but what can they look out for, and what's the purpose there?
Well, number one is the reason. Like you said, you need to know the reason. Why do you want to do the talk? The reason's got to be a bit bigger. Second one's preparation. You've got to prepare. Listen, why does Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather or Tyson Fury, why do they train 8 to 12 weeks when they're already superstars? They're already good, because they need to be prepared. If they're not prepared, they're going to lose. They're going to get beat. So it's not enough to be good. Look, I've been teaching for almost 12 years. If I don't prepare and I just go, I can probably do it from experience, but I won't give as good a service as if I'm preparing. So they have to prepare. How do you prepare? spend a couple of weeks going over the talk or the venue, what you're going to talk about. And another one is focus on what you can give, not what you can get. If you're doing a talk and it's just about you and what you can get, you're going to be terrified unless you're really experienced. But if you're doing a talk to give to people, you're going to be so much more confident and less anxious, because it's not about you. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you can give and how you can help people. And be honest with them, give them value, educate them, encourage them, motivate them. So it's understanding these things, and you can only really understand these things through two ways. Firstly, by intellectually learning from someone who does understand it, but secondly, through experience. So people got to, again, it's that mindset. If I do a public talk, of course you don't want it to go bad. Of course you want to do well. If it doesn't go well, do it again, quick. When I first done my first talk, it was embarrassing to me because I got nervous. I had stage fright and I hired a room and I felt so humiliated. But I had two choices at that point. Listen to the voice in my head, which said, Jonathan, you're not good enough. You've let yourself down. Everybody's judging you. Or listen to my heart, which said to me, you've got to do the next talk. You've got to get better. And that's what I done. And after doing 10 talks, I was fantastic at speaking. I couldn't even recognize myself. So it's knowing that it's okay to fail. And it's understanding what we said earlier, what you said. You've got to want to do it. You've got to have reasons. But it's quite straightforward. What do you want to achieve? What is your reason? Prepare. And if you don't know how to prepare, you can go online and you can watch the podcast. There's so much stuff online. Listen to people like Les Brown. Listen to the work that you do, with the help you do for people. And you'll learn from other people. And don't listen to negative people. There's plenty of them. Don't listen to negative people. Everyone's got an opinion, which is fine. Because if you're sensitive, like I was when I first started, one little bit of criticism can break your spirit and make you quit. Use the negativity as fuel to work harder and believe in yourself. So that's the advice I'd give.
I really love that. And you just reminded me of something as well, like in terms of not listening to negative people. And what I'm thinking as well is, I mean, they may be not being negative as in like, okay, they want bad for you, but they are not the right person to give advice on what the advice they're giving you on, because it's not their place. It's a bit like me. It's a bit like, an electrician telling me something about plumbing, and you'll be like, but you're an electrician, so, I do, but I don't think this is a great plumbing work done here. Well, but you're an electrician, so worry about your electricity, right?
Exactly.
Worry about the electrician stuff. So I'll listen to a plumber, then who knows what he's talking about, because that's his forte. So if you want to listen, that's what I will add on to what you just said, expand onto it. Is okay, if you want to listen and take feedback from people, listen to the people who are already doing what you want to do, and take advice from that, or watch the people who are successful and doing what you want to do. So see if they left some breadcrumbs and you pick up on those breadcrumbs, because we all leave some work behind for other people to pick up on. See how they started, see what they're doing, because rather than being focused on their success, which a lot of people currently do. So that's what you do, ask questions there, see what's happening. How can we work with that? And that was I was thinking of when you say, like there are lots of negative feedback out there. 100% there's lots of negative feedback. And it can exactly break you big time if you're sensitive to that comments and feedback. So yeah, definitely. But for me, I would like people listening to this, if you are that definitely just look into it, what they are doing. If they're not doing what you want to do, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You're like irrelevant. You do what you want to do. Thank you very much. I hear you, but I'm gonna just leave it there, and I'll continue.
What you said's great, man. And another thing I learned is, never be too proud to learn from people. I just learned loads today from you, what you said. It's so important. What you said is that people shouldn't listen to people that are not qualified to be given advice, because it just makes you feel you lose confidence. Listen to people who are qualified. And you're right, you learn from people by watching. We do learn. But it's quite sad, isn't it? Until people change the way that they think, that people tend to take advice from people that are negative. They're not living success in their life. They're not even trying, which is their choice. I understand that. I'm compassionate. So why listen to someone who doesn't want the best for you and doesn't know what they're talking about? So you have to have that discipline. And all the things you're saying today that I'm learning from our conversation, they're all part and parcel of how to be successful and confident. You have to educate yourself, you have to listen, you have to work at it. And one thing that Les Brown said, which changed my life, he said, it's so simple, but it resonated. He said, you will fail your way to greatness. You will fail your way to success. And what that done for me was that made me feel good about failing. Because I used to feel so frightened of failing. I used to be ashamed. I'd be thinking people are going to think I'm a terrible person. They're going to judge me, and I'm not. And when he said that, I trusted him because he was successful. He was a good person, and it freed me. It freed me from the burden of anxiety and worrying about failing. So, yeah, all these things can be applied to what we spoke about today: public speaking, business, confidence, any area.
Yeah, that's great that we are resonating, and we are teaching each other. I've learned and so many things as well from this conversation, and I believe the listeners are taking away lots of golden nuggets that we've been leaving in this episode for them to take away. We will be wrapping this up shortly now as well. So before we do wrap this up, the question I wanted to ask you was, what is something that now that you would have appreciated in your younger years, for example, teens, you would have loved that if you knew that time?
Do you know what? Yeah, I thought about it. I wish I would have faced my fears quicker and not wasted so much of my life worrying about what people thought about me, staying in jobs that I didn't want to be in, not having a lot of money, not going out quicker and helping people, because I had the talent to do it from a young age and I had the strength, but I listened to those anxieties, and I wish I'd have, if I could go back in some way, I wish I could have been a bit more vulnerable and not had so much pride and ego, and would have said, I need some help here. I'm struggling. Can you help me? I don't feel confident. I feel insecure, and got the mentorship quicker. So yeah, I wish I'd have faced my fears quicker. I wish I'd have been vulnerable quicker, but that's life. So hopefully anyone listening to this, they can do it quicker and stop making excuses and stop waiting to be perfect. Just start now. Learn as you go along. It's okay to fail. Yeah. Just start now.
I really love that. I really love that. So, and also, if people wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get and where to find you? I know we are on Instagram at the moment. So obviously Instagram handle, you can share that if you like as well. And what other places they can find you?
They can find me on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel, which is Jonathan Confidence Coach, and people can email me if they want to apply for my coaching. But best thing to do, go and get loads of free value on YouTube, and they can follow me on Instagram because I do daily uploads on mental health, weight loss, confidence, relationship advice. So yeah, I'm not hard to find. YouTube, Instagram, and they'll find my email address under pretty much all my videos.
Nice. Okay. Well, 100% will recommend everybody who's been with us throughout this live on Instagram or listen to this on the podcast but later on as well to get in touch with you. I mean, this was such a great conversation between us. So, and definitely, we do need that confidence. I would like to say confidence boost, because we all have that confidence there, but maybe just need a booster for whatever reason. It is been, it's just tucked away inside us. And we are not using it, the potential completely, right? So we all come with the confidence. At some point during the life, we just stopped using it, because when we were born, we were already confident because we learned to walk, we learned to stand up. That's already confidence. That you didn't do all of these things without a confidence. You maybe got a helping hand, but because you showed the confidence that I want to stand up, I want to walk, and then somebody was like, okay, let me hold your hand, and that's where it started. And the confidence has been there since we were born. At some point, obviously, we decided, okay, or something has happened, and we were like, okay, we are not this anymore, and we need that confidence to come back up again and come back and do the things we are meant to do, find that purpose and find the passion. That's what I'm taking away from this conversation. I would love to ask you, what would you like the people who's been listening to us to take away from our conversation?
I would like people to know, because I know that a lot of people are going through a lot of struggles right now. We all have struggles, and I go through them. But, just take comfort in the fact that everyone goes through struggles, but you can still overcome them by being disciplined every day. Just simplifies it. So don't feel like because you're going through struggles, you can't be successful because you don't have much money, or you're living at your parents', or you're not in the right job, or you've had a breakdown, because I came back from a mental health breakdown and it wasn't easy, but if I can do it, anyone can do it. So just start from today. Every day is a new day. Every day is an opportunity to build your confidence, because a lot of people keep saying, well, when I get a six pack, when I'm, no, start now. That's a simple message. And that is true. And that makes people feel better. A last thing I'll say, stop putting people on a pedestal. We're all human. So people need to not do that with me or anybody. Respect people. You can be inspired by them, but don't idolize people. Know that you can do it. So it's a healthy relationship. Because I know years ago when I would watch actors and famous people on TV, I'd always think they're better than me. But when I become successful, I thought they're not better than me. I'm one of them. It's determination, and I'm not better than anyone or below anyone. So stop doing that with people. You can say they inspired me. I'd like to be like them, but you got to live your life. You've got to become the best person you can be. So knowing all these things leaves you no excuses, and your challenges can be the best thing ever happened in your life. The best times in my life have usually been when I'm going through major challenges and I overcome it and I help other people. And that's life, that's business. It's not what we see on social media. It doesn't always go well, but that's exciting. You can find something in that, gratitude. So it's determination. So whatever, look, I've heard all the stories. There's nothing no one could probably say to me listening that would surprise me, all the challenges. I understand it. So use your challenge, and people deep down, people like that. They can relate to you more. But yeah, so start now, and whatever you're going through, still work at your dreams. Go gym. No excuses.
I love this. I may use this as the title of the episode as well. Start now, whatever you're going through. I think that probably will be the title of the episode now. Start now, whatever you're going through, because whatever the whole conversation we had, it's all about that. It is about starting now and finding your reason for confidence, finding your passion for what you really want to do. Why why do you want to be a not shy person? Why do you want to speak on stage? Why, and this, start now. That's actually good.
Exactly. Yeah, our talk's been great. We've pretty much covered every angle of how to be successful, especially for shy, anxious people, and we've covered all of it and all the things we've said. So people have just got to work at it, and just one step at a time, keep facing that fear. It gets easier the more you do it. And I need to remind myself and everyone, have fun. You don't take life so serious. Try to laugh each day, or get around friends or watch some comedy. Don't take it all too serious, because it's too stressful otherwise.
I love that. I love that. No, Jonathan, thank you very much for your time today. And obviously, we had a little glitch here and there, but it was all good. So it's all worked out. And everybody else who's been listening to Tuesday Talks on Instagram Live, or now as a podcast version as well, if you had any inspiration or a spark, or a thought that was like, wow, this golden nugget really affected, it's our duty now to share this with whomever that came into your mind, because we need to share that spark with others. We shouldn't keep it with us, because if it's create that inspiration with you, we don't know who is going to inspire as well, and we don't know who's woken up or going to bed thinking of a better day. So if you had that inspiration, it might just give them a chance to have a better day as well. So please share this with whomever you think should be watching this, to just give them also that little boost as well. And I would recommend everybody to find Jonathan on YouTube, and I'm sure the link is probably on Instagram as well. So go to Instagram and follow from there. Definitely, I am doing that myself now. I will go and follow and check out all the YouTube videos as well. But I do love your posts and stories on Instagram, because I do follow that as well. I watch it. I've seen you doing your runs and the gym, boxing as well, and I was like, this guy is determined, and is consistent as well. So definitely you walk the talk, and you talk the walk. So it's all there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate what you're doing. Thanks. I mean, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll follow your Instagram page as well. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.